661, after the death of Ali, a new era began in the Islamic world. After the death of Ali, Muawiyah became the Caliph, and the Umayyad period began. During this period, the Caliphate changed from an elected leadership into a hereditary system within the same family. The Umayyads moved the center of administration from Medina to Damascus. Damascus soon became the political center of the Islamic world. During Muawiyah's rule, the state administration was reorganized and the central authority was strengthened. During Muawiyah's rule, a disciplined and powerful army was established. During Muawiyah's rule, a strong naval fleet was established, increasing the influence of the Islamic State in the Mediterranean. During the Umayyad period, naval conflicts with Byzantium began to shift the balance of power in the Mediterranean. In 680, after Muawiyah, his son Yazid became caliph. Thus, the caliphate turned into a hereditary system passed from father to son. In 680, Hussein and a small group with him were surrounded. In Karbala, this event became a turning point that left a deep impact on Islamic history. During the Umayyad period, Muslim armies advanced westward and brought much of North Africa under their control. In 711, the Muslim army, led by Tariq ibn Ziyad, crossed into Al-Andalus, marking the beginning of a new era in Europe. With the conquest of Al-Andalus, Islam reached the European continent, and a new civilization began to emerge in the region. During the Umayyad period, Muslim armies advanced eastward and reached the Transoxiana region of Central Asia. Under the command of Muhammad ibn Qasim, Muslim armies reached the region of Sind, bringing Islam to the Indian subcontinent. During the reign of Abd al-Malik, Arabic became the official state language, and the first Islamic coins were introduced. These reforms strengthened central authority. In 691, the Dome of the Rock was built in Jerusalem. It became one of the most important monuments of early Islamic architecture. During the reign of Al-Walid I, the Umayyad Mosque of Damascus was built. It became one of the most important symbols of Umayyad power and early Islamic architecture. During the Umayyad period, the Islamic State expanded across a vast territory stretching from Al-Andalus in the west to Central Asia in the east. During the Umayyad period, trade routes expanded, and major cities became important economic centers. Toward the end of the Umayyad period, the Abbasids began to gain strength and opposition movements spread rapidly. In 698, with the fall of Carthage, Byzantine control in North Africa ended, and the region came under Umayyad rule. After the capture of Carthage, the Umayyads established permanent administration in North Africa, making the region an important center of the Islamic world. The new administration established in Al-Andalus quickly turned the region into one of the important cultural and commercial centers of the Islamic world. During the reign of Abd al-Malik, the central administration was reorganized and the state structure became stronger. During the reign of Abd al-Malik, Arabic became the official state language. This reform strengthened unity within the AD administration. During the reign of Abd al-Malik, the first Islamic coins were introduced. This reform strengthened the economic independence of the state. During the Umayyad period, a postal system was developed to improve communication between cities. During the Umayyad period, several campaigns were launched into Anatolia. The Umayyads laid siege to Constantinople and fought major battles against Byzantium. During the Umayyad period, cities expanded rapidly and trade flourished. During the Umayyad period, scholarly activity began to grow. New trade routes connected different regions of the empire. During the Umayyad period, the Islamic State expanded across 3 continents. During the reign of Al-Wal, major construction projects were carried out in cities. During this period, medical services began to develop. Social order and state structure became stronger. The taxation system was reorganized, increasing state revenues. Over time, the Abbasids began to gain strength. In the region of Khorasan, the Abbasids gathered strong support. In the region of Khorasan, the Abbasid movement quickly began to gain strength. The Abbasids rapidly expanded their influence by gathering support across different regions. Over time, uprisings began in many regions against Umayyad rule. Abbasid armies advanced westward and began a major struggle against Umayyad rule. The 2 major armies faced each other near the Zab River. The Battle of the Zab in 750 became the decisive conflict that led to the end of the Umayyad state. After the battle, the Umayyad army was forced to retreat. Abbasid forces advanced toward Damascus and took sole control of the government. In 750, the Umayyad state came to an end. Some members of the Umayyad dynasty managed to escape westward. A branch of the Umayyad dynasty reached Al-Andalus and established a new rule there. The new Umayyad rule established in Al-Andalus became a powerful center in the Western Islamic world. Cordoba soon became an important center of knowledge and culture. Cities of Al-Andalus became important centers along major trade routes. Al-Andalus became an important center where different cultures came together. During this period, scholarly activities accelerated and produced important developments. Urban life rapidly developed in Al-Andalus, and scholarly activity created a new intellectual center in the Western Islamic world. The Umayyads left lasting architectural achievements that became an important part of Islamic civilization. During the Umayyad period, the Islamic State expanded across a vast territory stretching from Al-Andalus in the west to Central Asia in the east. The Umayyads period played an important role in the political, cultural, and economic development of Islamic civilization. The Umayyad period took its place in history as a great era, when Islamic civilization reached vast territories and left a lasting legacy.